Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 22 of Banishers, and a special early hello, probably now for the third time, to Caroluna, Grumpy, Czar, Solid Chrome Hickey, Gaming Well Grandma, Innertooth, everybody else. I hope that you're having a great Thursday. We're going to be picking up right where we left off. I had said that maybe between episodes I would be in and maybe go do that. I did not have any time. It's actually been super busy both in life and work. So we're going to be picking up exactly where we left off and hopefully doing another haunted investigation here. Let's see what we can find out. Right, so we could investigate the abandoned house, but there was a different investigation that we could do here, Saints and Sinners. We don't know what it's about. I vote that we check this out, because I want to learn more about this area. So as we were walking past a random house near the end of the previous episode, Antea mentioned that there was some, spectral stains around the house. I know her. And I was like, no, let's set this aside until we can come back and focus on it. So I say that that's right now. But aside from that, we don't know anything about the house, its residents, or what previous residents. Okay, we know that guy as well. And we've also talked to... Well, we've never talked to her absent her sister.
Ah, the famed and famous Banisher. The one and only Red McWraith.
Have we met?
I was at the meeting house. You've got guts. I like that.
Thank you very much.
Ooh, politeness. Gives me the shits. I'm Phoebe Walcott. I buy and sell. Now then, what's your pleasure?
Alternatively, this is not the person that I thought it was.
Have you been trading in New Eden long?
Forever and a day, your Highlander Highness. I belong to this land, body and soul, and can no longer tell where I end and it begins.
Really?
Huh? Of course not. Don't be so gullible. Life makes more sense to the cynic. Sense of humour won't go amiss, neither. Folk here are too grim to notice how charming and funny I am. 8 years, if you must know. Of the third settlement, I was one of the first to arrive. And look how far we've come since.
What can you tell me about the community here?
Like whom?
And how are you?
I'm doing my best to bring a little joy to the world. What with all the gloom.
And how's that going for you?
Badly.
I bet you tell me what you know of Governor Haskell.
That kind man, he's been so good to me. He's all vapour and bounce.
Lammy Haskell. Any thoughts about him?
Him? He's so deep in his father's shadow you'd barely know he were there.
I feel like I've learned less from this woman than of anybody we've talked to at any point in the game. And that includes, angry ghosts that only lie to you.
May I see your wares?
I'm a shopkeeper, aren't I? Yes, you may see my wares.
Okay, we're probably not going to buy very much. Hitting an enemy with a manifestation increases the next lighter heavy attack by 50%. That's fine. Defeating an enemy with melee attacks increases the damage of the next manifestation by 70%. That's actually really good. And then we've got this ring. Spirit point gains are increased by 30%. No, I can't make my manifestation cooldowns any longer. I might get this. The only issue is that at rank 5, melee damage of 13 seems really low. It's not going to hit 18 on its next level, and these are up at level 6. I don't think we're going to buy anything from her. Yeah, we might pass on that. And as far as oh, hi. Well, hold on. I will absolutely buy this map. And then from there, yeah, we've got hundreds of all of these things, so we do not need anything else from her.
Till we meet again.
You mind your good self, do you hear?
Yeah, last time we encountered like two sisters, and I thought that they were sitting right there, and I was like, oh, look, one of them's by herself. A completely different person. Okay, here is the house with the spectral stains, and we cannot Antea because there's ghost warts around. Oh, right, we've been in here. I remember talking about this obvious shrine. And also I hear the sound that they're talking about in the journal.
Hallowed be thy name, Marcy, our beloved angel, heaven sent. I'm busy. What do you want?
What happened to your hands, Hugh?
An angel came down from heaven and gave me the mark of the Lord Jesus. We may talk about his good word, if you wish to hear it.
Stigmata? That's surprisingly Catholic.
I'll assume you did not mean that slander, but be warned, I'll not take it again.
Tell me about this angel. How did you meet?
The angel is my sister, and she bears the mark of the Lord. Marcy wandered in the wilderness for many days and nights, and then, one day, she returned to lead her people to salvation.
He's haunted by a ghost, but thinks she's an angel. I hope you're taking note, Red McWraith.
He's not going to take this as very well, so we're going to talk about something else.
I'm sorry you lost your sister, and I'm glad you got her back. Tell me about her.
Do you believe in miracles, Mr. McRae?
I believe in the supernatural, and I believe in the extraordinary, so... Aye, I believe in miracles. I don't believe in angels, though.
If you are blessed enough to meet my sister, then you'll change your mind.
I'd like that. Where can I find her?
Near the old mill, hidden at the end of Long Beach, is a cave. Our sacred place. She will be there. They never could find her body. But she is still there.
What news around and about?
On what subject in particular should I deign to answer?
Tell me about the governor.
A fervent believer. A good-hearted man. A strong man. And yet, he's an exorcist. He calls upon evil spirits. What if one day he calls them, and they come?
Tell me about Lamentation Haskell.
Get him to tell you himself, if you can get him to talk. He's quaint, that one. And by that I mean he's strange. I'll not call him an unbeliever, sir. I just question what he believes in.
How's life in the Harrows, then?
Life is test upon trial, upon tribulation, upon ordeal, leading inexorably to a place in paradise at God's right hand.
I must take my leave of you, sir.
God keep you, for I shall not.
Sometimes you'll encounter people that have like a very colorful or florid way of speaking, and it's like, boy, I would really like to have a meal with this person. I would really like to not have a meal with this person. He seems extremely one note. What was the name of the Mrs. McCready? What was the name of the woman in The Mist? And you know exactly the woman that I'm thinking of. Hugh Batchelor's Diary, page 2. I definitely read this. Oh, right. We read all of these. So I'm going to assume that Marcy is his sister. He may have said the name and then I overlooked it. But we have absolutely read about this. His sister had, like, believed that she could hear the word of God. Yeah, this was years ago. Yeah, we absolutely went through all of this stuff. And I remember thinking, like, it's possible that she was grappling with, like, schizophrenia, and those symptoms were just misinterpreted by...
If he puts his faith in his sister's ghost, he's a fool.
Anastasio Anastasios, I think. Hello to you. Well, hold on. B.
I look forward to seeing what this so-called angel looks like.
That's the first time I neglected to say something. I was reading chat and I apologize. So the question was, what kind of armor is it? This is Ethereal Garb, and it gives us defeating an enemy with manifestations, increases the damage of the next light and heavy attack by 50%. I personally believe it's one or the other, but technically it says that you get a bonus on both. I hope you are also having a good Thursday. I think, actually, you will have seen it in the menu that I was just in. I think that our armor is one of the things that's fully upgraded. We've got a couple things that have not been upgraded yet. And I've decided to hoof it as opposed to just fast traveling because I suspect this is going to take us to a new area. But yeah, I like this armor primarily for its aesthetics. I think that if I was playing on a harder difficulty level, I might be making some harder choices about how Red is dressed versus what the stats are. But I don't dislike this bonus by any means, and I like the way that it looks because it looks like it's something that he's wearing both because it's appropriate for a Banisher in this world and also as a tribute to Antea, who wears very similar colors. So I feel like I like it in both ways. Okay. As we push up in here, I suspect that we're going to find some areas that we haven't actually visited yet. We have been wearing this armor for a while. We went from Red's original armor to, like, a set of, like, Witcher armor. Not really, but it sort of had that look of it to me. It really doesn't look anything like any of Geralt's armor ever, but like it looks like it'd fit into that general world. And then there was like one other sort of like kilt-based armor before we got this one. And I didn't mind that other armor, but I like the bonus on this one a little bit better.
Get lost, won't you?
Okay, the red color means that, yeah, there's something here for us to still do.
Spectral nest. I better command them to show themselves.
I am enjoying the game a tremendous amount. I really like it, and I especially like the stories of the investigations. I always get confused between these, but I think it's Make Manifest.
No step
And as far as the
shadows.
oath, Red has taken and then reaffirmed his oath to bring Antea back to life.
I think you could take on a ghost.
And that has resulted in some... That was a complete waste. Some tough choices along the way.
I can help.
There's more of them.
Oh, I can't. Oh.
Try this on.
I really like punching the ghost right out and then seeing the ghost immediately disintegrate from the force of the hit.
Away with you.
Oops. Oh!
This isn't over yet.
Oh, I'm gonna get swiped by this guy. I can never not get hit by these blue boys.
Move yourself.
Reinforcements!
Oh, that was extremely lazy.
Ready and waiting.
Okay, so as always, we're not going to keep grinding on this one, but we've done it at least once. But yeah, the commitment was to bring Antea back to life because it honestly felt the most at odds with what we saw of Antea while she was alive, and I was like, that just seems like a more interesting version of the story, and it definitely has been. Well, sorry, I can't say that it's more interesting. I can only say that it is an interesting version of the story because it's become a measure of like what is Red able to justify for himself in terms of taking the lives of people in order to get what he wants and what he thinks that Antea deserves. So the fact that it's glowing, it's only this then, right? No. Well, I hope it's only telling me about this because I do not see anything else. Are you going to do a second playthrough? So I rarely get a chance to do second playthroughs. This is the sort of game that I'd like to do that on, to see all the different ways that things can go. But if I get a chance to do one, it would probably be later in life. You know, be a real break.
I can help.
And just in case that might lead to, like, would I want to know what else, like, what the alternate versions are? Certainly not yet. I want to see this playthrough all the way through, and then, I mean, God willing, be able to see other people play it, like, be able to see their live playthroughs and how things went for them. Yeah, the way that I've been approaching this, I was actually talking both here to my producer and to my friend HW in separate conversations about this. I find it so much more interesting to pursue games and situations like this more as a character in the world. What do I earnestly think that Red McCraith would do based on, like, my headcanon version of him, as opposed to deciding in advance, oh, I'm only going to blame everybody every single time. Like, that second thing, then you're not really making a decision. It's just you decided at the start of the game exactly how you're going to proceed, and you're not... I don't feel like I'm engaging with the story at that point. Rather, if we say, well, here's what Red is predisposed towards doing based on the situation that he and Antea are in, but we still have to take each and every case as its own individual story and build out our understanding of the world as we go to see how our recent experiences are going to affect, like, what his mindset is. Like, we were talking last episode.
Beware. Wards.
We were talking last episode about if you're familiar with the game, then you'll know of Anne Wings. Well, we made decisions that made Anne Wings very, very unhappy in a way that felt like we super betrayed everything that character was about by betraying everything that character was about. And that, regardless of how I think Red might react to that, I reacted to that very strongly. I was like, oh my God, like, what did we do? How did we take this very nice person and just completely ruin them? And that's the sort of thing that will have its impact on, like, future decisions of, like, oh God, like, I sort of feel like at least through me, like by way of me, Red is going to be like, oh, I thought I was ready to do whatever it took, but whoa, that felt extremely bad.
Still impressive.
This little offshoot looks to be very small on the map, but we'll see what's actually over here. We'll just take this corpse chest and the corpse mushrooms. These will be great for later. Oh, that's actually it. Okay. But I'm curious, oh, hello to Nico. So I have been going with Nikolai, but I've noticed that App just goes with Nico. Should I just go with Nico? Either way, hello to you, and I hope you're having a great Thursday. I also had a separate question. So just to timestamp this episode a little bit for people watching later in life, today is the very first day of the 2024 Steam Spring Sale. And among other things, they have some games that App was talking about wanting to play on sale. And I was thinking that it might be cool to reach out and see if he's interested in some of those. Nico, Nikolai, or Saves is common. Okay. As long as it's all good. I'll probably go with Nico then, just because I've
Corpses. We could manifest what hides here.
grown accustomed to hearing App say it.
Present yourself! Get back up!
Watch out. Spectre possession.
Wait. Everybody stop it. I think I missed it. Damn it. I'm gonna wait for this guy to tire himself out. There we go. Oh, he didn't see that coming.
Once more with healing.
Okay, but be more careful this time. Oh! Oh, that was a real pounding. That was great. Nico says, just don't call me late to dinner and we're good. Okay, I feel like we have another shot at that. Luna, hello to you, by the way. It's saying that sales have started, and guess who has no money to shop for? Hold on, let's see if we can knock that guy out again.
Watch out. Spectre possession.
Nope, stop it. Okay, let's see if we can handle everybody else for a while.
Don't let that spectre get to the corpse.
Okay. All right, I need to not underestimate this guy again. He did his big ground pound in the last attempt. And I thought that was it, and then he just turned around and did another huge ground pound.
Dodge it if you can. There's a tough one.
Boy, my Banish does nothing on this dude. Yeah, Nico was saying that the game looks pretty good. The thing is, the combat feels real good, and the shooting and the exploration, and I like those parts of it. This game really stands at its tallest when it's like story based, I feel. Yeah, much better that time. So, Nico, this is just sort of like a question for you. Has App ever like talked about? This is really more of a question for him. I should have him answer. I was just thinking that it would be super cool for story-based games in particular if you went through them with somebody like, you know, Hey, Isn't That K, for example, someone who also has never played it before, and then they could sort of talk about it as they go. But I don't know if that's something that he's interested in. It's a completely different style of content than what he mostly does. He has been moving more into co-op. It's very co-op gameplay, and this would be more like almost akin to like short form podcasting about like the thing that he's doing. I think he'd be very good at that style of content. Can we duck underneath this? Yes. Okay, we can definitely hear a spirit orb. A few years ago, now, we were preparing some content for Mia ahead of, like, she knew she was not going to be able to stream for a while, so we each pre-recorded our separate playthroughs. There's no co-op. Well, I guess there is co-op in the game, but we pre-recorded separate playthroughs of Beyond Two Souls. And what we would do is play to a certain point. Neither one of us had ever played it before, but we would play to like the end of a specific chapter, usually being about an hour or two of gameplay, and then we'd say, okay, stop there, and then we get together, and then we would talk on Discord and record the whole conversation about what had happened up until then, and where our playthroughs had diverged, and how those divergences had affected the story and stuff, and it was incredibly fun. I really, really enjoyed doing it, and I like revisiting those episodes which were like the conversation topics, conversation sections. And there was no gameplay in those sections. It was just us talking. But then you could like watch. Hold on.
Siblings.
Feeling guilty about Aomi Day and Temi.
On principle, I refuse to feel guilty. Yes, I feel guilty. I should have made the journey. I should have gone to see them.
Time flies.
And oh, how it has flown.
Well, it's never too late. Especially since we apparently can... Oh, we are actually going this way. Is there anything else that I wanted to see up here? So, I was just thinking that I feel like the way that App engages with the story of games and the way that there can be some narrative flexibility in some of the games that he's been talking about playing, that if a otherwise comparatively short narrative game were on deck and he would have played through it alongside somebody else who has never played it before, and then they would meet up at the end of each chapter to talk about it. Oh. Just feel like that'd be very cool. Nico says 1 to 2 hours for you would be like 2 to 4 hours for App. The good news is, like, if it's something that has like a discrete chapter structure, then it's always easy to know where to leave off. This is a very impressive place. I kind of want to check it out, and we definitely want to have that fast travel point, because whatever it is that's going to draw us back out here, we're going to want to be able to travel here quickly in the future. But actually, I feel like App plays games really quickly. Maybe it's because he has like a dedicated block of time, like 5 or 6 days out of the week.
Rest, this place is as good as any.
but like he cooked through the entire Mass Effect trilogy in like it seemed like he felt it took a really long time, and I was like, oh my god, like he did all of them. Yeah, Nico says Life is Strange. Yeah, something that's divided up into episodes. So like he and Kay would play through separately. They would play through episode 1, and then they'd get together and talk about it and like recap the episode. And I personally think it would be like
Wards.
just
I'm going to need a hand here.
in terms of like structure, like one of them would sort of take point in like describing, like recapping what happened in the episode, but then the other one could lean in with like how things went differently for them, and then on the next episode they just swap roles. And in that way, people who are familiar with the story would be able to
Missed me?
Always.
get a retelling of what happened through the eyes of somebody encountering for the first time. People who have never played and maybe didn't see one of their streams or episodes, they'd be able to follow along because they'd be getting this description of it. And people who like, they really like App and K, but they don't really want to like, they're just not interested in watching that specific game, they get a bunch of App and K talking about it. So I feel like it crosses all the lines. And then this is not going to be our only topic of conversation, but I cannot get out of my head that because they're doing recaps, they could call it Recapnilla. I'll see myself out now. All right, let's check out this haunted... Well, I assume it's haunted. Look at it. Everything in this world is haunted, and if someplace is going to be just crawling with demons... Inner's leaving.
Oh, dusty.
I hope the boards hold. I'd hate to see them land upon your pretty head.
What is lurking here?
Time to work, Banisher.
Oh, we're looking around. It's fun that I don't think that we actually have a reason to be here yet. So, I mean, part of me is like, maybe we should just go on with the investigation, but... I mean, how do you not explore a place like this? Wouldn't you... Like, in the real world, you'd be worried about this place coming down on your head or something, but in the video game, how can you not want to look around the old abandoned windmill?
Guess we're not going that way.
There should be a way up here.
Okay, she's... Ah. Ah, got it. Sorry, that's not going to do it. So that's part of it. Oh, no, that was it. This did fall. Okay. So that's more up, but let's take a look on this floor first. This reminds me, like, I find it very easy to imagine how this smells, just because my grandparents growing up had a structure, not a windmill, but like an old barn that just was very reminiscent of this sort of like style and state of construction. Hello to Dawn! Dawn, I wouldn't ask except that it was mentioned in a different stream. I'll only say that I wanted to reiterate best wishes for the job interview coming up. I hope that you get it. I'm very excited for you, and I have every expectation that it's just going to be good news. Okay, there's nothing else on this side. So now we're going to go back and find that staircase. Nico's saying it would be a creepy place for death. That's why you don't go in. You wouldn't, certainly in the real world, want to go into some place like this on your own because you get hurt and then you just, like, die of, exposure. Also, I do hear a spirit orb. Again, those orbs are actually called spirit catchers, I think, on the map. So, like, a ghost gets stuck in there because that
This
seems
is locked from the inside.
horrifying. Based on what we know of ghosts. Alright, so that's locked from the inside, and... I don't see, like, a bar. Am I looking... Hold on. Where specifically is this door? It's right there. Oh, no, look, there's, like, a big wheel pushed up against the door like there is downstairs. I don't think that I have a way to get in there. Wait, what do you see, Antea? So, that's an area to jump down from, but I can't get up this way. Dawn is saying, I know a few people that work for this company that were laid off from my previous company as well, and they put in a good word for me. Hey, sometimes it's not what you know, it's who you know. And if the people who you know are able to put in a good word for you because they can speak accurately to your quality of work, that can be everything you need. I am absolutely pulling for you. I've shared on a few different occasions that I do not see how we get in there. This might even require, like, a manifestation that I don't have. I think we're gonna go downstairs. We don't have a task here. So now I'm thinking that in order to proceed, we need to have something more than we do. Okay, including better aim. But what I was sharing is that I remember distinctly the last time that I was unemployed, and that I would very much like to not be unemployed again. It's very stressful, and even if you are employed, but you just don't like what it is that you're doing, and you really want to move on, that it's a heavy burden to bear, hating what you have to go in and do every single day. So whatever the situation is, I really hope that it works out for you. Nico's asking if I'm playing Supermarket Simulator. I am absolutely not opposed to Supermarket Simulator, except that it's in early access. So I sort of want to wait for it to come out. I've also found that any game with, like, the word simulator in it, boy, the quality is just... It's not... They're done by a lot of different developers at a lot of different companies. They're not all part of, like, some simulator franchise. It's just like, hey, we're going to simulate warehouse logistics today or whatever. Some of them can be great, like American Truck Simulator or Euro Truck Simulator, and then some of them are just, like, the jankiest trash. So I want to wait for the game to be done, but I would absolutely check that out. It is weird how you take a job and then you make a video game out of it, and suddenly the job is fun. Kind of saying, they should simulate goats. Okay, but it does want me to go. Okay, that's right. This is the area, the way to our goal. Nico's saying the dev seems to be really on top of it. He's a single individual, but is responsive to comments. A single individual can do amazing work. Look no further than Stardew Valley. And, like...
Take care. The place is warded.
Actually really look at Stardew Valley. Like look at some of the early prototypes. Concerned Ape is, I think, what the main developer goes by. And they've been very upfront, like very open, and put up...
Take care. The place is warded.
Put out...
It's concealed.
Hold on. You can find screenshots of, like, what Stardew Valley was like in, like, its earliest iterations and stuff. So you can see how far it's come and how many years it was worked on to get it into the state that it is now. I hope that the fact that Haunted Chocolatier has been, it feels like, on the back burner for a while now, There's something hidden around. I'm trying to determine what it is or where it is. The fact that it's been on the back burner now, I hope that that doesn't speak to sort of like burnout on that project, because I'm really interested to see more of what Concerned Ape has to do. Okay, I don't...
Do you feel that?
It's close.
I don't know what it's telling me is hidden. Oh, Star Sector. Yeah, Cara Luna, that's another great example. Yeah, my aim with red is basically anytime the auto aim doesn't immediately quick scope me exactly onto my target, I'll miss my target by 15 degrees. Nico's saying people really wanted to help somebody. People wanted someone to help with stocking shelves, and he did it in a week. Really? I didn't know that it was getting patched that quickly. Like, for me, my take on early access is just I sort of want to see it when it's done and in its most complete state. The fact that games are released into early access...
I can't manifest anymore.
I'm very comfortable with that as a development tool. There it is, I think. Oh, no, that's a doll. Okay, I want the doll. And it looks like we would get to it by bursting that wall apart. Okay, interesting. So, where's the...
Wards. I'm going to need a hand here.
This is weird. There's like a very narrow section here that is warded. All right.
Have some of this.
Oh. I feel like I'm done, but... Hello to Borlak! So, oh, Borlak, I'm so sorry. Did I ask you this the other day? I've been asking people who I know that are experienced with TTRPGs, but I don't remember if it's come up with you specifically. I know, based on our recent conversation, that you are primarily a... Like, right now you're doing Savage Lands for, like, your main system. But I am curious if you are planning to check out or do any videos covering Daggerheart, which is the new Critical Role joint. Okay, I think we're gonna hit a ward.
Red.
Yeah.
I can't manifest anymore.
So I can't burst that wall because we cannot Entea. I don't know how much further down we want to go. Yeah, I would like to continue exploring around that area, but with the ghost wards and stuff and not knowing exactly where they are, there might be some benefit to just keeping our eye on the investigation and then trying to unknot these things on the way home. Nico's saying that so far, Supermarket Simulator has had daily patches and 2 large updates. It would be good to take a peek. I may just check it out. I'm trying to remember if I've played a game that has, like, that style of simulator. Oh, we did pick up Cooking Simulator after seeing Jason McMaster play it. I would like to try that out on a stream at some point. For a while, there was talk of trying to find a way to do, like, a multiplayer competition event in that game. Like we had some rules that were starting to get sketched out, but couldn't quite find a way to make it work based on how that game functions. It's really not designed for that.
Can I join in too?
Also, note for anybody that's here, I do know how parrying works. I just can do it 1 out of every 8 times that I try. Dawn is asking if it's on VR yet. Hey, give that person 2 weeks and maybe they can make it happen. Also, the next time that Clay stops by, I need to say that we follow...
Doesn't this ocean air just make you want to sail the open seas?
I've always wondered where your love of boats came from.
I definitely was a pirate in a previous life.
I have no memory of what I was about to say. Mostly because my thought process there went quickly from, like, Red does have a thing for boats because we found that crash boat 2 episodes ago. And I like the fact that there's still things that Antea doesn't know about Red. Like, it seems like their relationship is still fairly young.
Ready and waiting.
And then I thought, I wonder if... I were to catch an interview with the person who plays Red McRae, if he sounds
spectral nearby.
Anything like this in his regular talking voice. Oh, yeah, it was about Clay. So Clay had pointed out something that we hadn't known, that Facebook had separated their Oculus / Meta accounts from, like, a Facebook account. So you don't have to have one anymore in order to make use of an Oculus. And we hadn't known that, and that is very true, it seems. And we got all that set up and moved the account over, and just want to thank him for pointing that out, because for a while it was the case. It was like, okay, and now just sign up for your Facebook account. It's like, no. I'm not convinced that we found everything down on that beach, but I found as much as I could in the time. I sort of want to go look up here. Yeah. Nico's saying, wait, you don't want everybody in the world knowing exactly who you are? And, yeah, I don't want... I mean, really anything to do with the whole deal. And as always, there's nothing against anybody else who's, like, you know, loves Facebook and goes there and, you know, puts up things on their page and connects with everybody that they know. That's all fine. It's just not for us.
Reveal your true self. Get back up!
That's not a shot.
This isn't over yet.
So say for the benefit of, I think it's Anastasio. Hold on. There's one achievement for, like, get a certain number of, weak spot rifle kills, and I'm not entirely sure that I recognize what is a weak spot on a walking corpse. Like, you think the glowy bit in the chest, but... Yes, it's like, kill 5 dudes in 1 combat with that.
Did we miss a few? Move it!
Okay, but better than that, please. Okay, wow! That was all of
I'm
my
right
health.
here, you know.
Have some of this.
Okay, yeah. I didn't actually see where my health was. All I know is that that one dude hacked into Red's hip, and it just went like 90% of his damage was gone. His health, rather. Kieran is saying, I don't see what actually changes. It's still a meta account, whatever that actually means. So the thing is, as far as we could tell, there is no meta Facebook page that's attached to it. There's no, like, personal information that's in there. It's just the account name and the serial number of the device, and that's it. Nikolai's saying, VR's getting better, but it can still cause major issues. And Carolyn is saying, like, do you mean, like, epilepsy? I know that can certainly cause a lot of eye strain, and in popular culture, epilepsy is like exposure to blinking lights, but it can actually be caused by a variety of different stimuli. I think it's still mostly visual, but if somebody were to tell me that actually you can have epileptic seizures from exposure to certain sound patterns or something, that wouldn't surprise me at all. All right, so we did find everything up there, I hope. Yes. So now we're on to look for the cave entrance. Dawn is saying PS4 made that repeat. No worries at all. I was trying to remember if I had, like, said something. Because the other thing is that, like, speaking of VR, I think we've mentioned this before, but Sony is reportedly looking to make some inroads on having their PS VR system available on PC. And if those rumors are true, that'd be very, very appealing, because the PSVR 2 is allegedly, like, one of the highest quality VR sets out there, like, for visual fidelity. Dawn is playing on PC with a PS4 controller, and if I'm on the Twitch screen and a button, it brings up the last thing that I typed. Yeah, the PlayStation, I mean, starting with the PlayStation 3, they started to try to find some inventive ways to help text inputs be as fast and easy as possible, and sometimes it'll try to do things automated in an automated fashion. Nico's saying, not a doctor, so can't speak with any validity. I assume as the eyepieces get better and such, that could help, but flashing lights might still be an issue. Killen's saying not everybody with epilepsy is photosensitive. He is not, according to tests they did some years ago, but he's not taking any chances. I completely understand.
Whose clothes are these?
So she was just asking whose clothes are these. I mean, this one here looks like a top or a tunic. I don't know what this bottom piece is. It could be small clothes that are sort of wrapped around. It could be a pair of shorts. I don't know. I don't recognize it all, like, unfurled. Yeah, I've shared with permission that my friend HW was diagnosed with epilepsy, and like you said, Caroluna, not photosensitive at all, that they were able to determine, but rather triggered by other factors that he basically committed to restructuring his life to avoiding, and combined with the medication that they have on him, that they have him on.
Have some of this.
as far as I know, has been seizure-free for a long time now. And it was not an easy road getting to that state, but like you, he is... very careful not to...
Standing by.
Sorry, very careful not to do anything that he thinks could even not even likely, but possibly trigger something like that. Joan is saying epilepsy already almost killed him already, and he preferred not to have that happen. Yeah. It is for sure the responsible way to go, as opposed to, well, I'll just pretend everything is perfectly fine and power through, and then by force of will it'll be okay. The sensible thing is exactly what you're talking about, which is to just take it seriously, treat it seriously, and keep yourself safe. I definitely want what appears to be a campsite here. Yeah, just trying to work our way in.
Silence and the campfire. Just what Dr. Duarte ordered.
Dawn's saying that her best friend came back to life after she died. That is not an experience that I've had. I'm really glad that she was able to get the help that she needed, whatever the circumstance was. When I was very young, well, let's define very young. Elementary school age for sure, probably 10 years old or younger. I read a story about...
Destroy those ghost wards, if you want me back.
Like, back in ye old, like, tuberculosis times, how they weren't always especially careful. Oh, hold on. Diary of the Captain of a Stranded Ship, October 12th, 1685. The Greta left Plymouth on September 30th of the year 1685. We've been sailing for only 2 weeks, but the weather has been capricious since our departure, and has not stopped tormenting us since. The waters are tumultuous, and the storm never leaves us. This plays greatly on the morale of my men, who are already tired. October 22nd, so it's 10 days later. Bedivere, our helmsman, is rather pessimistic, a little too much for my taste. However, he is a seasoned sailor with whom I have already traveled. I don't understand why he looks so desperate. He only talks to complain about the trip and says we are heading straight for disaster. If he continues, I'll gag him and tie him to the main mast. 2 days after that, October 24th, we lost sailor Kenelm today. He had been suffering from a high fever for several days. He was the strongest among us, barely grown up, still a child. It'll be up to me to tell his mother the news. I hate this part of the job. November 3rd, 1685. Bad weather keeps pushing the Greta to the shore. It's like the winds and the fog refuse to let us reach any safe harbor. Tonight, Bedivere advised me to find shelter as soon as possible. I studied my old maps and remembered the small town of New Eden is not far from our position. I sailed there a few years ago. The colony was small, but maybe we could find some help there. Tomorrow morning, despite the thick fog, I shall set a course to the small harbor and hope for the best. The rest of the diary is unreadable. I hear so much, but see so little. Account book of a stranded ship. Ship from Plymouth, departure on September 30th, 1685 to Boston. 30 men. 10 barrels of brandy, 15 of cider, 15 of beer, 30 of wine, 60 of water, leather, iron, and wool. Okay, so there's our account book. We can't push past this wreckage. And I absolutely hear what could either be a ghost ward or a spirit orb. And either way, I cannot see it from here. Dawn Evil saying that her friend had a medical emergency that caused internal bleeding. How?
I can't worry.
Crud. How did they... It's probably too in-depth to get into here. It's something like that, it makes me very curious how they determine that. Like, once she was medically examined, then she was like, oh, yeah, we got to do this right now. But, like, how it got from, I'm not feeling well, I assume, to apparently, as you said, dying, and then being successfully diagnosed and resolved. I assume that the time frame between these various steps was very, very short. Do we see... Well, I can see the thing that was whispering at us. So we got that part. What I'm not sure of is where's the ghost ward that's stopping us from manifesting Antea. Oops. I was hoping to find something ghost wardy. Yeah, this might be another you can't do this, come back later situation. Either that or I'm just not finding it. Where does the ghost ward section start?
Red, I can't manifest anymore.
Oh! Durr, it's right there.
Much better.
Sometimes the best place to hide something is right in front of you. What I was saying is that many years ago, I read the story of like some, you know, what it was like back before there was a lot of like checking and verification, and read the story of, you know, somebody who was buried alive, and then how for a while they were like putting buzzers inside the coffin so that if somebody woke up and had been buried, they could like signal for help. It's just, I didn't realize that that was a phobia of mine until I read that story, and it really, really bothered me. Okay, so I am not going the right way, except that I really do want to see where all that goes, but I guess we'll find another time to do that. So also, if I was a cave entrance, I probably would not be inside of a ship.
Something's concealed.
Something's concealed, he says. The ship might have collapsed onto the cave entrance. Just a little unlikely. So rather, I think it's going to be up where we found those clothes. Whose clothes are these? Remember that? I'm going to touch... Oops. Must have walked that past that many times. I'm just going to touch the fire because I think it probably saves when you do this. And we're not going to bother evolving because I don't have any points that can be spent. I have points, I just can't spend them on anything that we can find. But once Antea gets another manifestation, we'll probably be leveling up pretty quickly. I have some points in reserve. Also, Carolina was asking...
The veil here is as thin as in the cave where you found me. The same lonely feeling presses down.
Okay, well, let's go take a look at that in a second. Let me just see up here. Carolina was asking about, is it Icelandic? Dutchlandic. They have a song, a band called Focus has a song called Hocus Pocus. One of the most awesomely hilarious things that I've heard in a while. I have to look this up afterwards. Carolina, do you have like a link to like a YouTube thing? Like I wouldn't be able to play it on stream, but I'd like to have it for later. Killen says that he does. Hang on. Yeah, I'm always interested in good recommendations.
Something's written here. I believe it's from Marcy.
I'll wait for you. Once again, impeccable handwriting for a surface that is made up of uneven rock. Maybe that's when I'll have really good handwriting, if I'm a ghost. Well, I mean, how could we not?
Away with you!
There we go. Cara Luna has the link. I will check that out. Let's just call it up in a separate tab while we are tracing our...
Swarming specters. Force them to appear with the right words of power.
Swarming Spectre sigil.
Nokuhane!
Did we miss a few?
Get back up! Reinforcements!
Ow. I really thought I could tank through that by going into ghost mode. Speaking of ghosts and stuff, it's nice that Frozen Empire, whatever the next Ghostbusters movie is, that's finally happening. Because I really did have a good time with Afterlife.
Get back up!
That one is shielded. Get rid of the other specter first.
I'm trying.
Bust!
Alright. I would love to have Antea's area of effect
Can I join
scream.
in too?
Oh, God. That was going my way for a second.
Away with you!
All right. I will absolutely take the nest silt. That's actually an important upgrade component for me, the nest silt. Oh, Innertooth has known that song since he was 15. They played it in the pub where he was working. I'm looking forward to hearing this. Apparently it's a big deal. I haven't heard of it by description anyway. Okay. Anything else up here? Well, we're all underground, but probably not. Let's continue on, and if we wind up coming across that other question mark, that's just fine. Cara Luna is also recommending checking out reaction videos regarding that song. Okay, so we've definitely got a tunnel. Or, sorry, it looks a lot to me like we have a tunnel. Yeah, so...
Wards, you're on your own.
I thought that Ghostbusters Afterlife was a really good time. It is easy for me to envision ways in which a sequel might misunderstand what was the best parts of the original and wind up being a misfire. I hope that's not the case. I hope that they continue to embrace telling...
See anywhere that could help?
Keep searching here.
Stories about a new cast and a new generation of characters, and don't get too bogged down...
Ghost wards. I cannot manifest.
Doing other stuff. I don't think that's a ghost ward. I think it's just a glowy stick. Post in the wall. Did we all see something glitter right there? No? Was that... There's something up there, but I thought I saw something right in the wall. I guess not. Okay, that was a way to go.
Back down to hell.
Yeah, specifically, and without getting into it, because I know that not everybody will have seen it if they're inclined to. Oh, I didn't read this. Evil won't... Yeah, evil. Evil won't take over your faith. Mustn't take over your faith. Why did I think it was...
Something's written here.
Because I was looking at...
It's from Marcy. Something has me. Wards.
I don't see the wards.
The spot can't be far.
Okay, let's continue to look around. There's something hidden here that we want to unveil, but we can't yet. Ghostbusters Afterlife is like 90% of a really great movie, and I can think of some incredibly specific things that I would have done differently at a certain point.
Arise into thy resting place. We don't have the same definition of a resting place.
So I always like it when you've got text that's fine and you can read it right off the thing, because somebody textured this and they did a hell of a job on it too. Now, my God, let, I beseech thee, thine eyes be open, and let thine ears be attent unto the prayer that is made in this place. Now therefore arise, O Lord God, unto thy resting place, thou and the ark of thy strength. Let thy priests, O Lord God, be clothed with salvation, and let thy saints rejoice in goodness. O Lord God, turn not away the face of thine anointed. Remember the mercies of David thy servant. Mary Bachelor's Journal. 6th of July, 1693. So this is 2 years ago-ish? Yeah, almost exactly 2 years ago. Mother was right. The ways of our Lord are inscrutable. Why did he choose me, and for what purpose? Am I supposed to spread his word? Am I supposed to keep quiet? Who can I talk to about these visions? Why isn't it clear? I pray that he will speak to me, but it never happens. Maybe I should wait a little longer. Maybe Hugh can enlighten me. Maybe I should tell him. 21st of July. I was right to tell Hugh about my visions. He maintains that these are the words of our Lord. I have to tell him what I see every time it happens, then he can help me decipher them. Then we will know why our Lord chose to speak to me and how to spread his word. 12th of September, 1693. I feel a warmth in my heart. even though the voices in my head never shut up. I now know who they belong to. The angels speak to me, and our Lord is showing me things. I'm connected to him. I've been chosen. 5th of January, this is multiple months later now, my visions are always relatively similar. It's pretty fuzzy, and it's more of a feeling. But last night was different. I could make out a shape, a winged figure. It was an angel, I'm sure. He was hovering over New Eden. Everything was dark, but the angel was surrounded by a halo of light. It reached out to me. I grabbed it, and suddenly everything lit up and I had a sense of calm. The curse was gone. I think that means I am the key. I can save New Eden.
I've brought stew. 'Tis your favourite. Bread and water, too.
Oh, it smells so very good. Thank you. I'm sad to disappoint, but I am fasting.
As did our Lord Jesus Christ himself. Truly, you and he walk the same path. I'm so very proud of you.
Hugh Batchelor let his sister starve herself.
He's convinced that she was chosen by God. Does she believe it too?
Let's look for Marcy. She can't have gone far. Who's that?
Yes. Something's here.
Caroluna, thank you very much. I was muted. I'm not going to reread that book. I did pause at one point, sorry, and thank you very much for letting me know. I paused for a moment to get a drink and then neglected. I probably pressed the button and then it just didn't unmute. Through me, your faith will be restored. Oh, no.
I don't know if these are comforting or terrifying.
I'd go with creepy.
Yeah, man, I think we listened to the echo, and I was probably muted all the time after that. Thank you for letting me know, though. I will be your beacon in the darkness. This one
She
was...
sounds restless.
How long has it been since Hugh's return?
But yeah, I read this entire book that was here, which was all... a lot of very unfamiliar words and, like, proper names. And I was just saying, I suspect that this is based off of some real-world belief structure that I just don't know. So I probably mispronounced a lot of it.
It must predate the Bachelors.
Early settlers? Natives?
Okay, I see a number of creeping ivy
I could clear
nodes,
the way.
but not a heart to shoot. Whoops. Okay, keep going then. Okay, this... Okay, so the heart is behind that, so we 100% have to go down there in order to be able to clear the ivy. That's not what I meant to do.
Not to make you angry.
So, I think there's multiple creeping ivies around. Oops. Just because of the number of vines and nodes that we can see. Speaking of which, can we see any others? Alright, I definitely missed it. So, oh, was that this one here also? Let's try that again. Yeah, so the problem is I don't know where the third is yet, and it's probably not especially well hidden since we have to be, or we had to come down here. Well, then again, we could actually go up here now that we've uncovered it. No, we can't hit the thing from here. But we could shoot that one, we could shoot that one. I just need eyes on the third. What I assume to be the third and final one. There it is. Okay.
Did I ever mention how good we are together?
Yeah. It's always good to hear.
I take it back. There was no other creeping ivy in this area. Okay, what did that get? What can I do now that I couldn't do with the ivy in the way? Probably cross underneath. Cross on the lower level. Yes, okay, this is the pathway that's open now. Let's look high and low, just in case there's anything cool to shoot, like a ghost ward. Make sure that we retain access to Antea.
Off we go then.
By the way, Cara Luna, gosh, who was it? Maybe Obsidian Ant? I'm trying to remember. Somebody who has, like, not previously been into Star Sector recently did a YouTube video on it, and I'd wanted to see it, and it's just been a super busy week. I'm pretty sure it was Obsidian Ant, and the actual, like, name of the video was, like, people kept recommending this, but then there was something else to it, like just a very positive piece of feedback. Seemed like something he was greatly enjoying. Okay, nothing else down here. Nope, that's it. So now we're on the other side of... Oh, no, we're not. Nope, we came across here. So now we're going to cross over here. There was a wooden paneling over here that we knocked off, or shot off. But yeah, I think it was Innertooth was saying that he, you know, was looking at all of the Steam spring sales. For me, the Steam spring sale comes so quickly after the winter sale that the new releases of 2023 are well, now 2024, are not really going to be on any sort of like a new discount because they're very, very young. And anything that had come out older was, like, just on sale. So I have to say that the symbols on the wall don't mean a lot to me personally. They actually look like the drawings of the specters, like the ones coming out with the no arms. But yeah, no, we'll definitely be taking a look at it. What all is available. I'm trying to remember if, like, Banishers is on sale, because this is, again, this is a very, very recent release. Yeah, there's still a ghost tunnel, I think, that we haven't been through. And there it is. There it is. Nope, nothing else. Atherton's notebook, March entries. March 16th, 1637. So this is 1695, I think, is the year that we're in right now. The Proctors are back from their trip to Providence. Curiously, Anton only exchanged a few words with me. He looked serious or suspicious, I couldn't say. He's usually more talkative. Something must have happened on their trip. March 18th. Last night, Ethel and Anton visited me about a strange book, the Agrippa. They say they received it from a merchant who had it himself from a receiver. According to them, the book contains dark secrets about immortality. They wanted me to read it too, as I'm more experienced. March 25th. I finished reading the book. It contains many forbidden knowledge. Few chapters speak of resurrection, even less so of immortality, but the rituals are rigorously depicted. Unless I'm mistaken, they could be workable after a few months of training. March 26th. I shared my research with Anton and his wife, and we were able to perform a minor ritual to summon a spirit. It was a great success. Old Richard, who died many years ago, came back as a ghost for a few minutes. Ethel seems to have a real gift for this kind of occult stuff. Anton made us promise not to tell anyone for the moment.
Is there a cave in New Eden that doesn't have occultists in it?
They were looking for the devil. Marcy was looking for God.
And now an angel has taken up residence.
April 16th, 1637. Anton and I continue to learn minor rituals. It's fascinating to understand how the spirit world works. As for Ethel, she started to study more complicated rituals depicted at the end of the book we found. April 21st, Ethel believes we need more people for her ritual, and Anton suggested we tell our neighbors about the book. To avoid any condemnation, we decided to initiate Jack and Appleton. They could easily convert their family if they listened to us. April 30th, Anton gathers everyone in his barn to make a speech to our new members. I must admit, he knows how to be eloquent when he needs to be, for now there are 7 of us, fittingly enough to perform any major ritual. I'm actually super digging the birth of a weird death cult thing that's happening here. I wasn't thinking that that would be the story that we were encountering in here. I thought it was going to be, hey, this woman died believing that she's an angel, so in death she takes on the form of an angel. The fact that other people had, like,
Red,
this same...
come. I found something.
Wait. Ante, I did not see you. Because there's something over here. Hopefully this is what she meant. Marcy's knife. A rusty knife. Its blade stained with Marcy's blood. I guess we can taste the fact that it's Marcy. And also, it's a very clean stain.
A bloody knife in a dingy cave. Always a pleasure. That's something to tell us.
I'm not actually convinced this was correct, because I didn't use the tie.
Corrito Scar.
I do appreciate the fact that at this point, so far into the game, I still get the rituals wrong. So... Hearkening?
I raise for now the Veil of Shadows.
Oh Lord, please help me. I'm scared. I can't do this alone. Cut it down. Cut it deep. Well do I know it. Take my hands. Take my hands and mark them so your flock may see, so they will no longer doubt you. Do it, Marcy. Do it, my darling. Grant me the strength to do my duty. Your blood is the blood everlasting. I will speak your sainted words. They will listen and believe.
Jesus Christ!
She cut herself. Where did the whispers come from?
Perhaps she was under the influence of a malignant spirit, like the Rumbles. There's a trail of blood. Let's follow it.
Based on how it looked in the vision, it really seemed like she stabbed it all the way through her hand, like all the way through impaling her hand, and then just ran it down the inside of her arm. Little concerned. Oh, I was about to say a little concerned that I don't see a trail of blood, but turned out that she went the only way that she could have. I do see the body down there.
Poor thing. How long has she been lying here, forgotten? And how has she gone unnoticed?
Perhaps the path was already blocked. I can feel her presence. You have her tie. Summon her.
Hear my voice and show your face.
Our Father who art in heaven, I thank you for your blessing.
Good day to you, Miss Bachelor.
My child, you may call me Marcy, for I am the angel Marcy, sent to guide and protect. Are you an angel too? I see your man with you. Were you sent to guide and protect him, to be his light in the darkness?
He should be so lucky. I'm Antea Duarte, and I'm no angel. This is Red McGrath. We're Banishers.
And what have you Banishers done? How far have you fallen? You stand swaddled in your guilt, ferocious in your blackened hearts.
Well, let's come back to that one, shall we?
You see, God speaks to me. In visions, he reveals his light. What would you ask him? What would you ask the Lord? Ask, and I will answer.
What is this place?
It's a blessing, isn't it? Our Lord guided you here, just as he did for me.
And how do we know it was God?
Don't you feel it? His warmth, his goodness, his light. It's him. Why, who else could it be? God called me to this blessed place that he, through me, may redeem it. This, my child, is what it means to be an angel.
Tell me more about these visions. What do you see in them?
He bade me follow his path, to suffer for those I love, as his son did before me. I agreed, of course.
Do you see God?
Not exactly. I see a lonely soldier defending his people from the demons, only for them to devour him from the inside. My visions are warnings. New Eden is sinking.
I notice you have the mark of the Lord. Your stigmata. How did you get them?
He gave them to me. He came to me, took my hands in his, bathed me in his divine light, and granted me his blessing.
What happened to you, Marcy?
What happened? I opened my heart and let in the light. And do you know, it had always been there.
You starved yourself. You refused your brother's food. Is that what killed you?
God gave me a duty. I should sacrifice my body, as did his son, that my people may have forgiveness. I must carry the light to unbelievers, so that with it in their hearts, they may be saved by the light of the Lord.
I don't know.
You sacrificed your body for the salvation of others. I'm sorry. I don't know how that works.
Our people are plagued by evil. Darkness grips them.
I've noticed.
In the turmoil of my dreams, I'd watch them writhe and burn in endless flaming turmoil. I knew not what it meant, but you kindly helped me understand. In revealing to me the horror lurking in the shadows, God was showing me the goodness waiting in the light. My suffering lights the way to salvation.
We're gonna have to talk to Hugh about this, aren't we?
Yeah, I've got some questions.
We must leave you.
God goes with you, my child, whether you know it or not. Wait. I feel something. Someone. My brother. I'm here. Hugh.
And hello to Buckeye Ninja. Sorry, let's read this. The ghost of a wasted, frail, and starved woman, driven by her pious beliefs and deep love for God. Ecstatic and righteous, she speaks in riddles and seems to have a grasp of time and events beyond that of a normal ghost. Yeah, believed her suffering paved the way to salvation. It's always super awesome when other people need to sacrifice and suffer for my salvation. That works out really well for me. I tend to feel pretty suspicious of anybody who wants to sell you the bill of goods that you really need to live in anguish. You need to face a lot of hardship and death and disease and personal problems for you, because that's what's going to make the world a better place. We sort of went up there and talked with her immediately. Okay, no, this is new. June 2nd, Appleton. Buckeye, I hope you had a great Thursday. I hope that it's gone well. It's just been really nice here, so I figured that we'd cap out the workday with some Banishers. Appleton has discovered a strange cave during his usual morning of fishing. In his own words, he believes he saw shadows dancing on the walls. He claimed the strange atmosphere of the place almost suffocated him. We decided, with Anton and Ethel, to go explore it. June 3rd. This cave is a gift. Ethel immediately felt the potential of this place. It's as if the spirit world and ours were colliding. Anton has decided we should stay here to give our masses and continue our research on immortality. June 18th. Our installation is complete and we were able to give our first mass in this sacred place. To celebrate our discovery, we performed an important occult ritual. Ethel managed to summon a creature, but after a few minutes the demon got out of control and attacked Appleton. Anton and I eventually chased the demon away, but Appleton is badly injured. For the first time, one of our experiments has failed. Anton blames me for this failure. He should just find somebody else to help him. June 23rd. I noticed that our last ritual left little strange cracks on the walls of the cave. If you approach it, you hear cries of pain. I think it's a gateway to hell. We may have gone too far. No, this is awesome, you guys. Just keep right on going with your shackles that you have down here for some reason. Seems like it's all A+ material. Okay, so this is September 2nd, 1637. Ever since the cracks in the walls have appeared, spirits are restless. Our rituals are becoming more and more unstable. The cave is no longer safe, and we have no other place to hide. I fear another tragedy will occur lest we decide to leave this place and never come back. September 8th. Anton finally made the decision to stop our rituals until we find a safer hiding place. In the meantime, Ethel has asked me to continue the study of the Agrippa. November 16th, so this is more than a month later, Anton made an unexpected discovery. Was working in the mill, the ground collapsed from under his feet. He fell into a small cavity that seems to lead to a larger cave infused with esoteric forces. Is this fate or chance? I can never decide. November 25th, my research has taken a new unexpected turn. We are getting closer to our goal. I am honestly really enjoying these diary entries of like the worst decision making, but like just being tantalized by like we're so close to uncovering something fantastic, even as the effects around you seem absolutely nightmarish. Buckeye says that it's rainy where he is today, but work has been good and the day went by quickly. So are you going to play, by the way, Buckeye, Last of Us Part 2 on stream? Or for that matter, Left Behind. Suddenly I'm worried that I missed Left Behind. I think I caught you right at the end of the main game.
My brother!
Right. Stand clear, kids. Otherwise, we're gonna have two ghosts. Hopefully back this way.
Mr. McCrae, can you see her now? Is she not magnificent? Is she not a blessing from the Lord High God himself?
What are you doing here?
I'll justify neither my comings nor my goings.
You might have to, schoolteacher. I know you followed me. No need to deny it, just tell me why.
I would go to the cave, but the devil's agents had blocked the way. I hoped the Banisher would lift their spells. Though I confess I feared you'd make it worse.
Your own sister starved. How could you allow it?
Would you have me oppose the will of the Lord my God? No. Never.
I know it pained him to see me suffer. But my suffering was the path to my sainthood.
Marcy had visions. She heard voices. Did you know this?
Of course I knew. They scared her.
God sent a trial to test me. But he also sent me a guide. My brother, sir.
Did you not talk to Reverend Davenport? Or Haskell, maybe?
Why would I do such a thing when the Bible is clear? In visions, God reveals himself to the chosen few. My sister is one of them. I'd known all my life that Marcy was special. Here was the Lord's own proof.
You took advantage of Marcy's trust. You let her starve.
No. I did not trust him. I trusted God. The Lord spoke to me. He set his mark upon me. He chose me.
Stop your doubting now and gaze upon the face of an angel and glory in the work of the Lord. Behold your salvation.
Let's get this over with.
So let's correct the last thing that was said. In the echo that we heard, he brought her food and she said, no, I'm fasting. Like, he brought her stew, your favorite, and then also some bread and water, which sounds like really meager rations, but consider the time that they're in. Like, he's not going to bring her like Boston Market, all right? So he brought her some food, including food that he knew that she liked, and she turned it down. There's literally no evidence that he persuaded her to fast or anything else. Also, in this circumstance, I don't know what the visions are. There was whispering. When the Banishers are like listening to a hearkening, when they're like looking at that echo of what happened before, I don't know if what we're seeing is exactly what happened or if they're seeing the person's interpretation of what happened. It's never led us wrong. We've never been like, oh, that was an unreliable narrator moment. So I'm more likely to say we're just sort of like peeking back in time. We're getting this hologram of what was, like it was a recording device. And based on all of the journals that we found, I think that the whispering was probably the influence of the hellmouth that's been opening up in this portal ever since the experiments that were run. For all of those reasons, I think that what happened is a very psychologically fragile and possibly emotionally fragile person came to this cave where Antea herself noted that the veil to the veil between life and death is especially thin, and previous experiments had maybe damaged it further, and whatever extra natural influence affected her further and convinced her to fast, and then took her life, and maybe even now is toying with her, like convincing her that she's an angel. I don't think it's so much that. I think they just like took her life because they thought it was funny, like the ghosts and stuff like that. So I just want to acknowledge that I don't actually think that there's any blame here to go along. We have somebody who's very pious, who is doing the very best that he can with the extremely unusual information that's being given, and probably misinterpreting some form of schizophrenia as being messages from the Lord. That has some precedent in history, and that's my best prediction on what's actually happening. So I wanted to talk through that when I say that, like, ultimately, I sort of fucking like this guy. I just don't like him. He's very judgmental. He's very snide. He seems not just to be trying to convince himself that it's good that his sister died, but like he is 100% a true believer in this, that this has all come out for the best. He lost somebody very close to him and is still like, but everything's perfectly fine because this is what's willed by God. I feel uncomfortable around that viewpoint because it removes any responsibility from him. He can never make any mistakes. He can never do wrong. Everything that he does is always right and just, no matter what it is, because after all, every outcome is ordained by God. He seems to be one of those people that thinks that way, and I just don't really hew to that personally. I think that we are afforded free will for a reason. I think this guy used his free will to try to take care of his sister, but although he did not convince her to fast, and he did bring her food and did come to visit her and so forth, he sure as shit wanted to know where those visions were going to go. He absolutely believed that those visions were God, and I don't, as just like we see no evidence that he wanted her to fast, we also see no evidence that he made any attempt to limit her inclination towards suffering, and for all we know, that idea came from him. This guy weirds me out in a way that I really dislike. So although I just wanted to talk through it because for me personally, I feel like I would want to ascend Marcy Batchelor and tell this guy, your sister was not an angel. She never was. I hate to break it to you, but that's how it goes. However, I'm not me, and that's not the playthrough that we're going. I don't like this guy. I don't think Red likes this guy, and we want to do what's right for Antea. This guy doesn't get it. He's not going to be made to get it, and I think there's a stronger case to be made that this guy is such a zealot that there's a better than average chance that whatever happens here, he's going to go back and start yelling at the townsfolk about how the Banisher is a servant of evil and everything like that, and make it harder for us to do our job. So, yeah, we're going in this direction.
Hugh Batchelor, you're haunted by the ghost of your sister Marcy. But you, sir, are a dangerous fanatic.
A man that is a heretic after the first and second admonition reject. You've had your admonitions. I reject you.
You drove your own sister to her death. Allow me to return the favor.
I hold fast the Lord's name and deny not my faith. Even when Marcy, his faithful martyr, was slain where Satan dwells. I hold fast. I hold fast! Wait, where are the gates? I hear no trumpets. I hear no trumpets. I trusted you.
Oh, I want to hear what she says, but I want to read this as well, because we just got something else. To feel closer to divinity, Hugh Batchelor encouraged her... But that's not true! Never have I felt more convinced that these hints are written around what the game thinks we believe rather than what actually happened. Unless I badly misunderstood that echo that we listened to, he brought her food and she said, "I'm fasting." That's different than him telling her that she should fast or denying her food so that she'd get closer to God. I don't agree with that hint. Martyrdom usually requires death. And maybe he did believe that, but I don't think that he meant to kill her. Yes, that's true. Okay. Yeah, that's gonna turn out bad.
With Hugh dead, Marcy can no longer feed on his essence. So why is she still here?
Maybe she's more attached to him than we thought. It's time to send our angel back to heaven.
Why don't we stay on this then, since this is right here? Normally we do the activities a bit later, but it seems like something that we can deal with now. By the way, Buckeye Ninja is saying that he's going to do the DLC for The Last of Us today, and then hopefully Last of Us 2 in the future.
Putting up a fight then. Can I get to this one?
Hold on.
Blasted pest!
Shooting a ghost to death with a gun is always fun.
Watch out!
Oh, we sure will. Watch out. Hold on. There we go.
I think we missed it.
Oh, crap. I thought that was going to do more damage.
Even in the void, Marcy still believed she was an angel. Or a fallen one.
That was a much more straightforward
Mercy.
epilogue.
She didn't deserve that.
Neither her life of suffering nor its end. She deserved a better brother. I'm not just sure.
She's free now.
She was a pure soul. I mean, they all are beneath the dirt, but hers shone like a child.
Yeah, Red is not feeling really good about what happened to Marcy, and neither am I. I mean, she's somebody who... We don't know exactly what was going on, but given that the visions were occurring before they even came to New England, because remember, we read all the material in the Bachelor house before, like in the last episode. So they came here because Hugh, was that his name? Whatever the brother's name was, he was looking for somebody, for a community that would listen to the divine wisdom of his sister. And he felt like he had a community here, so he was always looking for a place that she could fit in, not to get treatment or help for what I suspect was a medical condition, but rather because he thought that there was a lot more to it. Sorry, what is it? As always, what is it telling me that is here? When it glows blue, there's something hidden around, but forgive me, I don't see anything at all. No ghost tunnels, no objects. If we go back here, the glow goes away. If we go up here, the glow appears. And then we go over here and the glow goes away. All right. And this is not... Oh! Have we been over here? Or was there any other way? No, that's actually it. That's... Or is it not? I don't know. This is... Okay, so this is where it's glowing blue. We come down here. There's nothing else. We go back up here. And this is nothing. So now it's just going through the squeezy through. Okay, just making sure. I don't know what it's glowing at me about, but rather than just continue...
You were right.
Old memory.
Your sisters.
Aoife, mostly.
If I'd had a big brother, I'd have liked him to have been like you.
I haven't visited her grave in a very long time.
We could visit her together, if you wish it. I'd be honored to go with you.
We're clearly going up that rope. Yeah, we don't need to go over there. I don't think there's anything up and over there. We already jumped across there. Yeah. Okay, I feel like we've done everything in here. Everything that I can remember. If there was some other task where we were like, oh, I need to get to that chest or that ghost tunnel, and I just completely forgot about it, then I completely forgot about it. Yeah, the deal with the bachelors there, that was a case where I really felt like I was far apart from like what I would want to do if I was in Red's position of like Marcy. We just did the whole quest, and again with the names, but she had a lifetime of what seemed like grappling with these symptoms, whether or not you'd call that suffering or not. And then she had people in her life, her brother among them, that coerced her into embracing that suffering and saying, yes, that's correct, that's what I deserve, this is what my life should be. And now in death, she continues to labor under those beliefs that she had in life. What's interesting is that, like, and this was not addressed, she's not continuing to experience those same delusions after death, because that would really be a... Are these the cracks, by the way, in the walls? Because those seem like oddly straight lines cross-hatched through that stone. It would seem very disappointing if mental illness issues that you had biologically while you were alive transcended your death and continued to plague you after death. You'd like to believe that
I felt it too.
Whatever a person's trials in life, in death it could be put into, especially in a world like this where there's a very real and tangible afterlife, that there would be some respite and understanding of that in the balance. And I don't feel like Marcy got any understanding out of it.
Time to work, Banisher.
All right, here we go. But for whatever I would do, Red loves Antea, Red wants Antea back, Red has promised and underscored, like repeated the promise that Antea will be back. So that's sort of his default position. This guy is a zealot of, at best, highly questionable priorities and levels of judgment, sort of stability to him. And Red has other work that he needs to do in this area, not just on Antea's behalf, but on behalf of the community. And this guy is going to serve to make that a lot harder. So, where my inclination would be, save the sister and let the brother deal with it and hopefully come to terms with what actually happened and what his role in it was. I feel like Red is going to... The Red that we've created here is going to be much more ruthless about it. I'm also... Oh, wait. I think there was one other thing that we wanted to do while we were up here. Oh, well, a couple things then. Let's 100% unlock this shelter. And there's one other question mark that we can check while we're in the area. Carolina says, a person like her brother would never come to terms with anything other than his own delusions. It absolutely feels that way. I tend to feel in my real life like that's still not my judgment. The fact that it seems so impossible for him to ever learn from, when I say his mistakes, from like what he did to his sister and his role in it, there's always that possibility, right? And I tend to think about, like, I've shared this, I've been a huge stupid idiot in my life on multiple occasions. Who was it? Gosh. Oh, man. I'm trying to remember if that was a podcast we were listening here together, or if this was something that I was listening to separately. Somebody just made the observation, I want to say it was like within the last day or two, that every adult out there has something in their youth when they were younger and less experienced that they regret.
You need to stop at some point. You would be all right.
And I mean, like, honestly, God help you if not. Like, if you look back on your life and you're like, nope, everything that I've ever done was 100% justified. I was always correct in every action that I took. I hope for your sake that's true, because that seems literally impossible to me. The way that we grow is by making mistakes, and sometimes those mistakes will haunt us, but not in the literal Banisher sense. But in that haunting, that's how we resolve to be better and to do it better than that. And to not make those same mistakes later in life. I feel like regret is a sign of a well-adjusted person, up to a point. I mean, don't stay up every single night lamenting that thing in middle school or whatever, but otherwise, and like Carol Luna said, the man expressed no remorse at all, like literally none, this guy. Could he get there eventually? Possibly, but in our modern day, what I feel like that would take is people talking him through the medical realities of, again, what I'm reading as schizophrenia. It could probably be a lot of different things. And, like, no, she wasn't hearing the Lord. She was experiencing this psychological condition and wasn't afforded the assistance for it. Okay, we'll just help this moonwalker out. And that's the other thing, like they just don't have a framework of knowledge about that in this world, so...
Piss off!
I guess what all of this is me very much wanting to distinguish between what we would understand as being correct today, what they would understand as being correct when and where they came from, and why, as part of all of that, Red is going to reap that man's soul because ultimately it's fuel to bring Antea back to life. And I feel like that guy is much easier to justify than some. Carolina says that it wouldn't work because, he's doing God's work and Red is the devil. Yeah, that's just... if God stands with us, who could stand against us? So there's an echo in there. This is not the abandoned house that it's asking us to investigate. Oh, we're not even at the thing. Yeah, this is a case for later, I'm going to say. I bet we're going to come back later and that's going to be available to us. But that's why I like talking it through. I have sort of this internal framework that I'm building throughout each of these cases on what I think, is happening and how I feel about it and how Red feels about it. And sometimes these things don't match up real well. And I like the fact that people who are following along with these stories will, what I hope is that people will be like, oh, like he's actually engaging with this stuff. He's not just like flipping a coin or like whatever, here's the ending that I want to see, but really thinking about it. We're not going to have all these dolls.
Of course, no doubt.
Because there was at least one doll that we looked at and I haven't gotten yet. Yeah, we're short a few. Also, I just want to say I really like the fact that it's 3 dolls. It's not like 18. It's not like go find these 25 collectibles that are scattered. It's 3. And more often than not, we've straight up found them just by normal ass exploration. You guys, there's a haunting case right there. Let's see what this is. I like knowing what's in the area. Yeah, just normal exploration of the area has, in almost all cases, led us to all 3 dolls. So I'm liking the way that things are designed. Lots of incentive to explore, but not a lot of reason to get frustrated with it. I need to determine the visual indicator that there is a rope there. I mean, this is the way that we want to come, but I honestly thought we were going to get a little animation of him hanging the rope. I think there's probably a more clear one than I think there is. I just don't see it. I think a lot about, this is such a weird thing to, like, come up at this stage, but, like, Leonard McCoy from Star Trek, the original Star Trek, and how every once in a while, like Star Trek 4, he travels back in time to, like, our top shelf medical
not to mess with a Banisher.
facilities, and he's like, oh, just, you know, leeches and like mercury pots or whatever. Like, he just has nothing but contempt for our medicine compared to what he has in the future. There's also, and I guess I'm going to spoil a completely unexplored subplot from Star Trek 5.
Over here. Campfire.
Campfire, she says. There's like one thing in Star Trek 5 where McCoy reveals or shares to Savok. I'm trying to remember what his name is. Spock's brother is in that movie, and one of the things that sort of sways McCoy over to his side is that McCoy confesses that I believe he helped his father die. McCoy, the character of Leonard McCoy, assisted his father through euthanasia to avoid the worst parts of a terrible wasting disease. And then not long after that, they discovered a cure for it. And how that has been something that McCoy has had to live with for a very long time. This is and when I say that it's not really explained, it's just like some writer, whoever wrote Star Trek 5, like wrote this backstory in for McCoy as an excuse for him to side with Spock's brother. I think it was Savick. I'm trying to remember what the man's name was. So they wrote this like backstory as a character moment, and to the very best of my knowledge, is never ever referenced again anywhere at any time in any part of Star Trek lore. But I still remember it because, in terms of regrets you might have, I can think of that being as a very potent one. And ultimately, what I feel like it would have to come down to for McCoy is that he did the very best that he could out of kindness and compassion based on all of the information that he had at the time. And yeah, if he'd made a different decision, then there could have been a different outcome, but he had no way to know that at the time. King James Bible. So there's a thing that we can push out here, or sorry, we can squeeze out here. That cart clearly moves. I don't know why we would want to go out that way, given the fact that we can just walk around outside the house anyway. And the reason that that's all coming up now is that, like, doesn't the brother fall into the same situation? He did the very best that he could with the information that he had. He has this, like, very, very pious Puritan upbringing. And he used that as the knowledge framework to make sense of this medical situation that he has no other information about. Well, I know that Marcy's different from everybody else. She can see and hear and feel things that nobody else can. Maybe she's a prophet. Like, you know, if all you have is a hammer, ... I have absolutely no idea what... This might be a comeback later, but we can go up on the roof for no reason. We can push the cart for no reason. And we can go through here for no reason. This means nothing to me. Maybe I should pull the cart backwards? And, like, when we're up on the roof, all we can do is see into the area that I can just walk around in freely, which would make you think that what you're supposed to get at is the upper level. I mean, I can't climb on the cart. How far back can we come? That's it. Yeah, no, all we can do is block that hole. So... And now you can't get around on the side of the cart. I can't climb the cart from the other direction, though, can I? This is such a weird thing. Like, you would never in your own life spend so much time trying to determine why there's a cart that you can push, and there's a ladder that you can climb, and there's a hole that you can squeeze through. In the real world, yeah, this is just a ramshackle house with an old discarded cart. It doesn't mean anything. But because we live in video game world, you're like, well, it's got to be here for some reason. Why can you do these things? There's nothing over there, and there's nothing over there. There is nothing at all for me in this house, except for that chest that I cannot open without a key. So we're going to leave. There's got to be something here, but I surely don't know what it is. All right, let's head. Oh, you guys, we could track the survivors. I didn't realize we were so close. So 100 years ago, like literally 10 episodes ago, we got a side quest. Can we read about it? Does it? It's probably not worth pursuing. Was it this one? Yes. After finding Kate's marker flag, the Banishers found an abandoned camp. One of the survivors died, but the others had journeyed on. A letter outlined their planned route. This is very old because we did not have access to this part of the map. There were 2 survivors. There were 3. One of them died. The other 2 went on. So we can actually do that. I didn't realize we were this close to it. I knew it was south-ish. I just didn't realize that we were... Oh, here we are. Okay, that's not the way to go. Carolina says maybe the game wants you to think exactly that. Carolina, were you here when that happened in Horizon? So for everybody, I need everybody to understand, I don't spoil other games. I'm not going to say a single plot-related thing or even gameplay mechanic-related thing in... Horizon Forbidden West of any note. So even if you intend to play it, you know, just rest assured, this is not a spoiler. Carolina, were you here when I spent probably not less than 20 to 30 minutes trying to solve the mystery of this, like, cave that had like this one explosive wall, and I was like, well, it's got to lead somewhere. Oh man, if I could only blow out this wall, if I could only like get in there, like there's got to be something here.
I can't manifest anymore. The ward's power is gone.
There has to be some reason for this one wall to be there, and once I can blow it open, we'll get the treasure inside. And
yours.
In the balance,
Traps, not yet sprung.
Either they caught game and reset the traps, or they caught nothing. I'm betting on nothing.
Okay, I didn't mean to talk over that. I didn't realize we were at the camp. It was nothing. Caroluna, it was nothing. I spent so long, and then when I finally blew open the wall, it was literally just an alternate entrance to the area that I could just go in. It was just me trying to unravel a mystery that did not exist.
Traps. Not yet sprung.
Either they caught game and reset the traps, or they caught nothing. I'm betting on nothing.
Oh, I didn't know that that's what we clicked on. Inner is saying that he wishes that there was a spoiler tag that you can put in chat. I think that would be really cool. If it would like black out and they had to like manually highlight it like on a forum. That would be great on Twitch. Survivor's second letter. To them that read this, we make for the mill. Creatures lurk in the shadows. Our progress is slow, for we are weak with hunger. Fear never leaves my heart. There is no day or night, but a never-ending dusk of growling nightmares. I suggest we turn back for Thickskin's camp, but the Frenchman would not hear it. The sea, he believes, is our only hope. The beach, he means, and the old mill near it. He'll not be swayed. A strange man, this Etienne Roulette? A traveler in passing, a visitor to Governor Haskell when the curse fell. He is not one of us. I refuse him the axe, and he looks upon me coldly. I may leave him if I can. I leave this message here in the hope that I should die here in the woods. Should I die here in the woods, someone will know that at the moment in this place I was alive.
This Etienne, whatever his name is, seems shady.
Well, he is French.
Let's stay on track. We make for the beach by way of the mills. This is no ordinary amulet.
Then it belonged to no ordinary settler.
And it was also like this one thing in the entire game. It was, and like, truly in my heart of hearts.
Quick and precise. Well done.
I don't think that it was a developer trolling. Like, Carolina, you have no idea. Like, I don't think we cut it out of the episode, but it was so long that I spent just wandering around this cave, like trying to figure out what the secret was. And then when I finally like blew open the wall, it was nothing. Like, literally, I think what it was, truly, I think that at some point there had been a quest or something that was going to go to that area, and then it got cut content, or it got moved to a different part of the map, and there was like this old vestige of what had been a quest. That's what I think it was. Because otherwise, you have to imagine that in a development project as complicated as Horizon Forbidden West, there was this one developer who's just like putting in random stuff to confound people. just these things that mean nothing, or rather, this one thing that meant something. Maybe I just never found another, but yeah, no, I think that it was just a leftover. I assume this is the mill, by the way. Maybe we found out where we're gonna... No? That's not it? The windmill is not correct. Maybe they were just going in the direction of the thing. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, you guys, we can just fast travel down there. We've got that. Let's go to the mill house, and then we'll fast travel the rest of the way, because we've already walked this path. I feel like I hear singing over there, but since I can't scale the mill right now.
People camped here, but not for long.
They must have headed for the beach. Let's go.
Not much meat on those.
A little is better than nothing at all.
He's saying if it's the one that I'm thinking of, your reaction was worth it. It was very funny. Because I was so convinced that we were going to uncover something. All right, yeah, let's upgrade. Oh, right, because we have some nest silt. You guys, we did it. We're going to have maximum Savage River. Okay, if we can upgrade that, and that to epic level, that's another achievement. I assume that we'll have a chance over the course of the game. It was one of those situations where I was more not mad, but like I was thinking about like the people like you guys right now that were with me on that journey, and like, oh my god, I wasted, it's not my time, it's everybody else's time. That's what I felt really bad about. Okay, we've already done that. Yeah, we walked up this way, so this is just us revisiting. This area. Right, yes. I remember this. We came down to this beach, walked around, I didn't find anything, and I think I even said, I'm not convinced that we found everything on that beach. Now we know what we're looking for. Signs of survivors. Oh, seriously, okay. I've never tried parrying that dude, like the big... Oh.
They never learned.
I don't think it likes us much.
You shouldn't stay in there.
Okay, could everybody stop shooting me with laser beams? We haven't rested, so when we came down here, I thought we would not encounter any enemies because we came down here earlier and beat them all up. But maybe they're the ghosts that were stirred up by the people we're looking for. I am not expecting, by the way, to find humans. I think we're going to find out that these people turned on each other. Here's my prediction. These people all turned on each other, and by the way, none of them actually had any ill will towards the others. They just gave way to suspicion from all their sleep deprivation and nightmare influence. Oh, there it is.
There is a path once I clear the way.
Hey, we found one of the haunted dolls.
That corpse is gonna shoot. Can I join in too?
Antea, you're the one throwing the haymakers. You got it all done. So Shepherd? No, Miller. Wow. I found 0 Shepherd dolls, and now we're already onto the Miller. Carolina says that's all part of watching the stream. I sure hope so. I feel like if a stream goes perfectly, then you're watching something that is, not that there's anything wrong with it, but rather more pre-packaged than what we're doing here. My hope is that by generally showing a game for what it is, like for example, we still haven't done that exorcism one. Once I figure out where we're supposed to get the dirt, which is what I expected to do between episodes, I will share it. That is the one thing that we've encountered in the game that maybe I'm just being non-observant, but like I remember Solid Chrome Hickey also saying like I didn't see anything on what to get. That's the one thing that we've encountered so far that feels under-explained or poorly executed. Because I know what to do, I mechanically can't figure out how to do it. Q was saying maybe the, I think maybe the specters in this area are ex-humans. Speaking of ex-people, yeah, so here's some interesting news that apparently broke over the course of the week. Disney Plus is about to debut X-Men 97, which is a being billed as a day after continuation of the X-Men Fox Saturday morning cartoon show from the 1990s. Same art style, same voice cast, which is really impressive. When was the last time you heard George Buza in something? Probably a lot of things. I mean, the man is very active, but it's just, it's very cool to see and hear all of those voices again. And what makes it a news story at this particular instant is that apparently the showrunner was, and this is Polygon's language, so if this is inartful or inaccurate, I'm just repeating what was actually said. Apparently the showrunner for this show was fired. Not released from his contract, fired from his position as showrunner days before this debuts, and that at least at the time that the article was put out, no one on either side was saying anything about why. I'd be curious to know, because it doesn't appear to be a lack of confidence in the project, because although they have now scrubbed this person from the media tour, they're not being shy about making sure that everybody knows this is coming out. And some people might say, well, I mean, they put all the money into developing it. They want to advertise for it and have people sign up. No. Big corporations like Disney, they will absolutely spend more money than you can conceive of in your mind on producing something that then they just bury in a ditch because it's a tax write-off for them. They seem to feel good about this project and want to move forward with it and want people to engage with it. Maybe we'll determine otherwise, but otherwise, that it's one of those things that I hope that we learn more. Not a lot of weird speculation, but a straight up, clear statement about what happened. And you know what? If it's none of our business, and, you know, maybe we don't need to know, but it is awfully curious. I have already done this, yes? It's marked off. Yes, okay. We don't need to do it a second time. If I need to boost up my attributes, I can do that later. But yeah, Carolina reminded me of that when he was talking about ex-humans.
I have another insight. They never learn, do they?
Have I mentioned the combat feels really good in this game? Like, I fail at some of the button combos, but that went exactly the way that I would have wanted for a change. So, I'm going to say something here about the Marvel Cinematic Universe and Disney Plus. I'm concerned that it's... I just cannot... Speaking as somebody who is extremely concerned about spoilers, I just don't see how this could possibly be a spoiler, given that it's introduced in passing, in theory, at the very ass end of the Ms. Marvel television series. So if you absolutely positively don't want to know anything about what might happen in the future, maybe duck out here for a second. But specifically what I'm thinking of is in the final, 5 minutes of the Ms. Marvel television series, it is very heavily implied that... Ms. Marvel. Yes, not Captain Marvel, Ms. Marvel. It's very, very, very heavily implied that Ms. Marvel is the first introduction of mutants into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Which I guess is not canonically what her power set was, but I literally don't care about that at all. And I only bring it up here because it is...
Aye, too late.
Oh, is this them? Yikes.
Killed with an axe, looks like.
And here, another campfire.
And Taya, can you be visible? Oh, was it this campfire? Right, because I was exploring the shipwreck without a reason to do so, and now we have a reason to do so. Just to finish that out, it's just very cool that they are moving in the direction of doing X-Men and New Mutants and having, not the New Mutants like the superhero team, but like, I'm so looking forward to that as a storyline, not because I'm like anti what they're doing now, but there's so much there. There's so much to explore. Survivor's third letter. To any who live to read this, our last testament. We met 2 militiamen, lately fled Fort Jericho, and, if they are to be believed, walking corpses. These soldiers had built a raft. They attacked us. Wow. I was quickly disarmed and swooned. When I woke up, the deserters were dead. Blessed be Etienne, and my decision to remain with him, for together we have found success. We set sail now for the open sea and Boston. Spare a thought for Peter Buckland, who died in our defense. Blessed be his heart, and curse the land that killed him. I shall never return to it as long as I may live. Mehitabel Sykes. Hopefully that's close. Sorry, just... Whether, like... Under other circumstances, I would just take this to be colorful language. Are they saying that, like, some of the bone walkers... It says if they are to be believed, but maybe they were... specters inhabiting bodies that were not so rotted that they were obviously walking corpses. Maybe they were still capable of speech and said, we're dead. And also, they attacked us. There's no other reason for them to do that except out of hatred of the living. So the fact that they were building a raft, I just hadn't attributed that level of direction to any of the bone walkers. Like, let's build a raft and sail away. Zara says, I'm surprised that show rated as hard as it did because of how badly they jacked up her powers. See, so I don't know... Hold on, they might have dialogue.
They escaped.
They escaped? Mehitabel Sykes, I salute you. Someone actually made it out of here.
Warms the heart.
Does that, aye? Does that?
Report to Kate. We did it. Okay, so let's go here because we can fast travel. So, oh, hold on. Lumberjack's axe. The axe belonged to one of the survivors of the second group, but who later died when he fled with the other 2 survivors, Mehitabel and Etienne Roulette. It was left behind after they managed to escape by sea.
Peter's axe served them well in the end.
Take it. Kate will want to hear all about it.
You guys, I almost didn't even see that. Okay, we read that. So, here's the thing. And hello to Czar, by the way. I have exactly one other exposure to Ms. Marvel, which is in the Avengers game. So prior to that, I don't think that I could have named the fact that she had like stretchy outie powers. Like she was Mr. Dr. Fantastic. Mr. Fantastic? I'm going to be extremely irritating here for a second. Why is he Mr. Fantastic if it's Dr. Reed Richards? Does he not have a doctorate when he's being stretchy? I'm going to stop talking about this now because I'm sure smarter and funnier people than me have tried to pull this apart. Anyway, I don't know anything about Ms. Marvel except apparently that she has stretchy powers. In the television series, she does not have stretchy powers. She has like physical like projection powers, like the ability to sort of like project her shaped force fields like her hand and stuff, so she still gets like big hands and stuff. I'm fine with it. Like to me, it's like it's a visually distinct representation of what would otherwise be a power set exactly the same as Reed Richards. So if they chose to like just give her the same overall flavor, but presented differently, like packaged differently, I feel 100% okay with that. Oh, hold on. Oh, do we want to do this? Let's go do this if we can. But no, I really enjoyed Ms. Marvel. It was it felt very confident, very energetic, very fresh. It was very optimistic. It was about like this big historical event that here in the United States just doesn't. It's not like a big event where we talk about partition all the time. And yet a lot of the characters, based on where they'd come from in Pakistan and India, this was a really big deal to them. So it was really interesting to me to see a television series that was so thoroughly rooted in the culture and history of another part of the world, because we just don't see that often. So I thought that part of it was really cool. I really like the setting and like the visual presentation of the world.
Nice view. Look at that old wreck.
Hey, I'm not that old.
Yeah, high tide, I guess. You'd throw it up there. Occasionally smoking over there. Like, Ms. Marvel, that is easily in my top third of, like, Marvel Plus shows.
Wonderful.
That, WandaVision, Hawkeye was more middle third. Like, I liked...
Right, where's the exit?
We found our way in, we'll find our way out.
Oh, hold on. I liked Hawkeye well enough. It was fine. Okay. Sorry, just measuring out where we can go. There was another one I really liked, and now I can't remember which one it was. I just sit down with a list. Okay, no, we can't go there. I was looking to see if there's anything back there that we could shoot with a gun. Nope. Zara says the difference between her and Reed Richards is that Reed Richards was stretchy and she was more body expansion. She was a mutant cross of Reed Richards and Ant-Man. Oh, like Ant-Man can get, like, bigger, and that's sort of what she can do as well? Oh, right, and again, I don't want to spoil it, but like Ms. Marvel also had like one of my favorite lines of any Marvel show so far. There was a really good line of dialogue, which I do not. Okay, so that's what we have to shoot, and we can't shoot it from here because we're in the mist, and there's stuff up there to shoot. So we've got to find a place that's above the mist line, so that Red can use his gun. Okay, super bad. Oh, Loki, at least season 1. We haven't seen season 2 yet. Loki season 1 was also very good. Crud, how am I going to get that? Maybe that's where we look through the window that we saw before? The opening in the rock? I'm calling a window for no good reason. No. Damn it. Oh, we just do it from here.
Well, that was exciting. Bastard fog. Can I see a thing in this?
Yeah, I think we talked a lot about it. Yeah, gosh, this would have been during Forbidden West. The one recent like Disney Plus show that really did not work for me was She-Hulk. And that one, like, it had... I definitely want to tie this off. it had all of the individual elements that could have been good, and then the execution was really awful. It's a legal drama with no legal talk or conversation in it, except for one episode. It's a comedy, which is, forgive me, because comedy is highly subjective, but at least for me, incredibly unfunny. And it has this really, really strong cast that it cannot, for the life of itself, seem to figure out what it should do with. And then it all comes down to a story resolution that mocks the concept of story resolutions. I said it at the time. If you want to write an examination of bad writing, you can do that without yourself being bad writing. In other words, I want to make a comment on how bad writing works is not an excuse to engage in really bad writing that wastes the audience's time.
Spectral target for you.
I'm trying. There we go.
This one's protected.
Crap.
Think you could take on a ghost?
Okay, stop and power charge. And what made it really frustrating, She-Hulk, was there are individual flashes. There's like single episodes in like it's like 10 episode run, or like these individual scenes where you can see what it could have been if somebody somewhere had the good sense to commit to it. There are kernels of really good writing in there, and then they just shrug it off in order to do something that I think they intend to be funny and irreverent, and just comes off as snide and dismissive, I found. Okay, so this feels like the same side that I was on. Let me go explore the other side. Go. Hello to Jägermeister! Jägermeister, how goes it? Hopefully it's warming up where you are as well. Maybe getting around to time for some more outdoor pickleball. Oh no. Zarset also just had a half barrel of Blue Moon literally blow up in his face. Was it like an overpressurized container or something? Did it like pop the seal and suddenly depressurize? I hope you're okay. I assume you are, because if there was blood coming out, you probably wouldn't be posting about it on Twitch. Okay, that feels like everything that there was to find there. There's equipment over there. I apparently haven't made it yet. That's when they said shipwreck discovered. We came in here. Yes, this is the way that I want to go. Played and streamed outdoors in the last few days. I must have missed the outdoor streams. Okay, before we climb down, is there anything we want up here? No. So, Zar, do you ever see those videos, like, on YouTube of, like...
Fair is foul and foul is fair. There's a lot of fog down there.
Follow my lead.
That there's, like, an accident, like an aluminum plant, and the entire place goes up in, like... I don't know what to do with this information, Antea. I can't actually get in there. Like, the entire place goes up in 15 seconds. Like, there's something goes wrong, and I don't know enough about aluminum smelting to understand what it is, but some very, very hot molten metal starts going someplace it's not supposed to. And the workers have the duration of this sentence to get the hell out, and then the whole thing just evaporates. I'm just trying to work my way around here. Here we go. Zara is saying, yes, he thinks it was overpressurized. When it blew, it hit the wall 30 feet away. Jesus. I'm just glad that you're okay. In a situation like that, it could be... If you got hit by liquid, that's a lot better than solids.
Possession incoming.
Wow, okay, that...
I'm right here, you know.
I also, and this is just for me, I just can't imagine what it would be like to be a writer working in the industry and to get an opportunity to produce a show for Disney and Marvel and to have them give me access to acting talent like Tatiana Maslany, and then that's what I do with that opportunity. Like, I'm not a writer, and there's a lot of considerations, and I have every confidence that the people who were working on it really believe that they were putting together something fantastic, but all I can say about She-Hulk is that it was very far apart from what I think it could have been. I feel like it was a tremendous missed opportunity. And then what's interesting is that, so that Daredevil show, what is it called? It's called Daredevil Born Again or something like that? That doesn't sound right. There's some sort of, like, new Daredevil show that is in the works for Disney+, but it has been in the works for, like, a really long time, and apparently has, you know, repeatedly hit some pretty significant production problems over, like, the story and the pacing and some other elements of it. And one of the points of contention is that I guess in an earlier incarnation of
This is a job for a marksman.
Hey, I am a marksman.
Again, I actually really, really like it that they have dialogue that's like, hey, look over here, because maybe in playtesting we realized that people didn't see what to do. I'm 100% on board with the, yes, thank you for pointing that out. I could have spent an hour in here and not seen it. Oh, look at that. Is there anything else out there? High or low? Apparently in, like, at least one previous incarnation of this Daredevil show, there were concerns that it was hewing much too far to the, like, legal drama side. Like, a lot of courtroom stuff and not a lot of, like, punching stuff. And I'm not being slightly ironic. That's what I wanted She-Hulk to be. I thought, like, when you have a character, She-Hulk, who has a law degree and is always talking about the fact that she doesn't want to be a superhero, she wants to be a lawyer, like, this is not what I signed up for. I didn't sign up for anything. This is all a big mistake. I really, really thought that there was a lot of room to do interesting storylines about how does civil law have to bend and account for, like, a world of superheroes and secret identities, and they did it for one part of one episode. Sorry, I know that I talked about this several months ago, but I'm still cheesed off about it. They had a really great opportunity to do a television series similar to Jessica Jones. Let's do a series about a world where people have superpowers, but it's not about superheroes. And they came so close, and then they just decided to do, like, fucking nothing, but whatever. Jägermeister says he has pickleball friends that work there. Oh, the aluminum place near him in mid-Michigan. Well, hopefully none of them have been featured in YouTube videos. Let me put it this way. Those videos don't typically last more than 25 seconds because they start around the point of the disaster starting and end when the cameras melt.
The veil shields this one.
Okay, hold on. feels good every time. Jägermeister says, I am not a comics guy, but maybe She-Hulk was forced to follow the precedent of the graphic novels. So that is something that somebody said the last time that this came up several months ago. Like the whole way the finale goes, which I actually don't want to spoil it for people, because there might be people out there that, you know, they want to see it and come to their own conclusions. I encourage you to do so. There's not a lot of things that I will recommend just don't even bother watching. She-Hulk is not for me. It might be for you, person listening, so go check it out. But when I shared some thoughts on the finale, what you just said, Jägermeister, is something that came up, that apparently it's actually fairly true to She-Hulk of the comics. This just seems down. Why did I come up here? I feel like I haven't accomplished what I came up here, I had a fight, but I didn't do anything. Yet. I mean, sure, I'll take that chest if I can get to it. I don't see anything to shoot. I don't see anything to jump to. Well, let's go down. The game really wants me to see this. It puts like a big yellow flag right next to it. Wait, is that just the way? No, this is just the way I came up. This isn't like a special down. This is just the up. So... it really feels like there's something here that I need to do. I climbed all the way up here. We came here. This is like a whole thing that's happening. And then we've got that, and it shows me the chest. I can see the chest. But there would have to be a different way down. Is this a down? No. So this also has yellow. Oh, there we go. Yeah, look for the yellow. Okay, but no, this. Sorry, everybody. That might have been loud. I don't feel like I was supposed to fall. Or maybe I was. Where am I? Oh, we're at the chest. Okay. I really Homer Simpson my way into that.
Got it.
I do enjoy a treasure hunt.
What did I get? This? Voyager. More spirit points, more some spectral resistance. No, it's way less, and look at this. This is terrible spectral resistance. But more dexterity and vitality, with dexterity being my preference there. It's not a huge increase, but it's some, and we get some more health. Rifle weak spot damage is increased by 200% against enemies affected by ensnare. That is extremely specific, and given how long the cooldown is on ensnare, I don't expect that I'll be using that. I absolutely recognize a character build that would be for. Czar says, Twitch straight up crashed as soon as he posted his last message. Well, you're back now, and I did see it. Here's what we'll do if you like my thoughts on it. I will talk about them right at the end of the episode, so that way I don't want people who might be interested in some Banishers to feel like they have to dodge a whole bunch of spoilers for other stuff that they might want to see. And, like, what's the crossover of people watching this specific thing and also...
That was fun. I could take the treasure hunting.
A lot of it is underground.
Banisher it is, then.
Does Red have some sort of, like claustrophobia about being underground? I thought he didn't like the caves because they're always filled with dead people, but he doesn't mind being a Banisher. All right, so we are... By the way, that was the corpse we shot down before. Yeah, let's head back to our fast travel point. Really? Well, we'll look for that later. Let's do this. And I didn't realize there was an altar of the incarnate down there. It's free health points, permanent health upgrade. Oh, yeah, hey, since we're thinking of it, why don't we go report back to Kate? We are going to fast travel back to Kate Newsmith. They're going to be so surprised to see us, given the fact that we are multiple days away. I feel like you have the experience one time of being in like a Tetris stream and having somebody go and blah 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 at the end of The Last of Us 2, and then you're like, oh, that feels super crappy. I'm not going to do that to anybody else.
What news from the woods? Is anyone alive?
I found them.
Truly? How many live?
2. We found the grave of a third, a lumberjack named Peter.
Peter Buckland. I knew him. A strong man. Good heart. He was ill when we left New Eden and stayed with the second group.
He died saving the other 2. Mehitabel Sykes and a fella named Etienne escaped the region and... oh, it seems on their way to Boston.
I am relieved. Mehitabel Sykes, you little underdog. The other fellow, I don't know.
Mehitabel kept notes of their journey. You may have them.
Thank you. A story with a happy ending at last. Perhaps the rest of us may dare hope for our own.
We gave her the notes. Did we give her the axe as well?
Goodbye to you for now, Kate.
Yeah, I was actually thinking that as we were reporting back to her, like, who says that this game is only about sad, depressing stories? We've had one happy ending. We got the one. Good news, everyone. Not everyone suffers and dies in this world. Yeah, so most of the time in Banishers, I've been trying to, like, see a full and complete storyline from start to finish. That specific one about the survivors, that is... I'm not kidding when I say that it's probably been like 10 episodes since we picked that quest up, because I physically couldn't access that part of the map while we were doing other stuff. So it feels good to have that one checked off. And with that, we're going to save it and then go find somebody fun to raid. Thank you guys very, very much for joining me for episode 22 of Banishers. And we're going to see you again, gosh, almost certainly not tomorrow, but hopefully on Saturday, we'll have to take a look. Let's bounce back to the main menu, and then we'll go find somebody to raid out to. Until next time, you guys, thank you so much, and I hope you have a great night.